I'll never forget the reflection in the operating room mirror at 2:17 a.m. It wasn't my face looking back at me. It was Chloe's. Same cheekbones, same green eyes, same mouth that used to smile at every patient who was terrified of going under the knife. Except the left side of that face was swollen purple, the lip split down the middle, and a perfect set of fingerprints. His fingerprints were blooming across her throat like a sick violet necklace. She was wearing my white coat because she had nothing else clean. The name, stitched over the heart, read, Dr. Emma Valentine, MD, FACS. My name, my life, my twin. "Help me disappear," she whispered, blood dripping from her lip onto the sterile floor. "Or help me make him disappear." I didn't ask questions. I locked the OR door, turned on the surgical lights until the room glowed like a crime scene, and I looked at my sister, my identical half, my mirror image, and I made her a promise I would keep with a scalpel. "Both," I said. "We're gonna do both." My name is Dr. Emma Valentine. I fix faces for a living. Rich housewives who want to look 30 forever, movie stars hiding knife work behind good genes, men who pay me $500,000 to carve away the years so their 25-year-old girlfriends stop looking bored. I am the best in Los Angeles. People fly in from Dubai, Seoul, Moscow, just to let me touch them while they sleep. They trust me with their vanity. They never ask what else I'm capable of. Chloe trusted me with her life. We were born 18 minutes apart. I came out screaming. She came out quiet. Our mother used to say, God gave the world two of the same face, but only one backbone. She wasn't wrong. I became the surgeon. Chloe became Mrs. Chloe Wentworth Hale, wife of Dr. Julian Wentworth Hale, Beverly Hills plastic surgeon to the stars, heir to old oil money, and owner of the most perfect smile in every society page photo. Julian and Chloe, both beautiful, both blonde, both untouchable. Except the cameras never saw the closed-door version. I saw it that night in my OR. Julian had corrected her one too many times. He started with little things, a criticism here, a suggestion there. Then came the appointments he made for her in his own clinic, without telling her until the driver was already waiting downstairs. A touch of filler, a laser treatment, a refinement of the nose she was born with. Each time she came home looking more like the fantasy in his head and less like the woman I grew up with. Then the corrections stopped being suggestions. The first time he hit her, he apologized with a new set of lips, fuller, plumper, permanently bruised on the inside. The second time, he gave her new cheekbones. The third time, he told her if she ever left, he would carve her face until no surgeon on earth could put it back together. That night, she showed up at my private surgical suite above Rodeo Drive. She wasn't crying. She was done crying. She wanted revenge that looked like art. So we made a plan. We would switch places. I would become Chloe. I would go home to the glass mansion in the hills. I would let Julian think he still owned her. And then I would fix him the way he fixed her. Slowly, perfectly, one cut at a time. We had 72 hours before he noticed anything was wrong. 72 hours to turn my sister's prison into his. Day 1, the homecoming. I walked into the Wentworth Hale mansion, wearing Chloe's skin like it had always been mine. Same perfume, same soft voice, same way of walking on the sides of my feet so the marble didn't echo. Julian was waiting in the foyer. backlit by the 40-foot window that looked over the city. He was holding a glass of something amber and expensive. "You're late," he said, not looking up from his phone. "Traffic," I answered, letting my voice tremble exactly the way Chloe had taught me. He liked the tremble. It made him feel big. He crossed the room in 4 strides, gripped my chin, tilted my face into the light. His thumb brushed the split in my lip, his artwork from 2 nights ago. "Careless," he murmured. "You should have iced it better." "I'm sorry," I whispered. He smiled. That smile sold 100 magazine covers. It also hid teeth that had torn into my sister's confidence until there was almost nothing left. He kissed my forehead like a blessing. "Dinner's at 8. Wear the blue dress. And fix your face. We have the Met Gala Zoom call with Vogue at 9. Then he walked away. I stood there in the cathedral-sized foyer, heart hammering so hard I was sure the Swarovski chandelier would shake. I touched the split lip he'd just studied. It was already healing. I smiled. Good. Day 1, night. I sat at the vanity in Chloe's dressing room. Really, Julian's museum of her. Photos from their wedding lined the walls. Every year, Chloe looked less like Chloe. Eyes wider, lips fuller, nose narrower, skin poreless. A Barbie doll assembled one procedure at a time. On the counter, 47 shades of concealer, medical grade. I opened the top drawer. Inside lay a leather-bound journal, Chloe's real diary. Not the gratitude journal he made her write every night. Page after page of horror. He schedules my surgeries like dentist appointments. Today, he told me my left eyebrow arch is asymmetrical. He already booked me for tomorrow morning. I begged him not to. He said, "Don't make me do it while you're awake." I closed the book. Took a photo with the tiny camera sewn into the lining of my purse. Then I did what Chloe had never dared. I started planning. Day 2, the first cut. Julian had early surgeries. He kissed my cheek, right over the bruise, and left at 5:30 a.m. As soon as the gates closed, I went to work. I knew every inch of this house. Chloe had drawn me maps while she recovered on my couch. I found his private office on the 3rd floor, the one with the biometric lock. He used the same 4-digit code for everything, 0823, the month and year he perfected her. Inside, filing cabinets full of before and afters, hundreds of women. But one drawer was locked. I picked it with a hairpin and a prayer. Inside, photos of Chloe unconscious on his operating table, time-stamped. Some dated after they were married, some dated after she begged him to stop. He had been operating on her without anesthesia in their home OR, punishing her for imperfections he invented. There was a flash drive labeled insurance. I plugged it into the computer. Videos. Dozens. Chloe gagged, tied to the table, pleading while he injected filler straight into her lips, with no numbing. Audio of him saying, "If you ever leave me, I'll leak these and tell the world you're a surgery addict who begged for every needle." I copied everything. Then, I left something of my own. A single drop of midazolam on the rim of his favorite crystal tumbler. Just enough to make him sleepy tonight. Day 2, night. He came home late, smelling of hospital soap and someone else's perfume. I was waiting in the blue dress, makeup perfect, bruises hidden like a professional. "You look almost acceptable," he said, pouring whiskey. I watched him drink. Within 20 minutes, his eyes went glassy. He reached for me like he always did when he wanted to inspect his work. His fingers dug into my jaw, turning my face left, right. "Still swollen," he muttered. "I'll fix it tomorrow." I let him lead me upstairs, let him push me onto the bed, let him fall asleep with his hand possessively on my throat. Then I got up. I walked to the in-home OR he was so proud of, soundproof, hidden behind a bookcase. I turned on the lights, I opened the instrument tray, I selected the smallest scalpel we own, and I waited for morning. Day 3, the procedure. He woke up groggy. I was already dressed in scrubs, hair in a cap, standing over him with orange juice laced with more midazolam. "Drink," I said softly. "You said you wanted to fix my face today." He drank. 10 minutes later, he was on the table, restraints on, still half smiling like this was normal, like drugging his wife and carving her up was just another Tuesday. I turned on the 4K camera mounted above the table, the one he used to document his art. I pressed record. "Julian," I said gently, "can you tell me why we're here today?" He mumbled, "Left brow, too low, needs correction." I leaned down so the camera caught both of us. "Julian, do you remember what you did to Chloe 3 nights ago?" His eyes tried to focus. "Discipline," he slurred. "She made me." "She made you choke her unconscious? She has to be perfect, my reputation." "Today, we're going to work on you, darling." I made the tiniest incision, just above his perfectly arched left eyebrow. 1 millimeter. He didn't even feel it yet. "This is for every time you cut her without consent," I whispered. His eyes snapped open, confusion turning to panic. I smiled Chloe's soft, scared smile. "Shh, don't move. You'll ruin the result." Over the next 6 hours, I performed 13 micro procedures. Nothing that would kill him, nothing that would even scar badly in the hands of a normal surgeon. But in my hands, I lifted the skin of his forehead 0.5 millimeter too high, injected the tiniest air bubble into the filler in his cheeks so it would migrate and lump, shortened one tear trough ever so slightly, botched the Botox in his crow's feet so one eye would droop. He would wake up looking almost the same. Almost. Only another surgeon would notice. Only another surgeon would understand the precision of the sabotage. When I was done, I cleaned him up, reversed the drugs just enough, and wheeled him to recovery, our guest room. Then I sent the video to a certain email address with the subject line, "Your move, doctor." Day 4, the unraveling. He woke up screaming that something was wrong with his face. He ran to the mirror, couldn't see it yet, but he felt it. Perfection was slipping. He called his lawyer, called his father, called every surgeon he knew. No one could see what was wrong, just that something was off. By evening, he was pacing, sweating, canceling appearances. He grabbed me by the throat in the kitchen. "What did you do?" he snarled. "I let real tears come, Chloe's tears, stored up for years." "I don't know what you mean," I whispered. "You operated on me yesterday. You said I'd be perfect." He stared at me, really stared. For the first time in years, he saw something in my eyes that wasn't fear. He let go. That night, he locked himself in his office with a bottle of ketamine he kept for emergencies. Day 5, the live stream. I waited until he passed out. Then I wheeled him back to the OR, strapped him down again. This time, I didn't bother with drugs. I turned on the camera, and I went live. Not to the dark web. To every major plastic surgery forum, every society gossip page, every reporter who had ever written about the golden couple. Title: Live from Dr. Julian Wentworth Hale's private OR, a demonstration. I wore a mask, but my voice was clear. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, Dr. Wentworth Hale will be performing a full facial harmonization on himself. He has graciously volunteered to show the world his revolutionary techniques. Julian woke up mid-sentence. He screamed. I smiled behind the mask. First, we correct the asymmetry in the brows. Note how the left arch has begun to droop. We simply overlift the skin and secure with permanent sutures. I made the cut. He thrashed. The restraints held. I narrated every step like I was teaching a masterclass. For Chloe's lips, overfilled until they split. For Chloe's cheeks, filler injected until one side ballooned. For every surgery he forced on her, I mirrored on him. The chat exploded. Millions watching, phones blowing up. Police were already on the way. Someone had recognized the room. But I still had 12 minutes. I leaned down to his ear. I wanted perfection, I whispered. Now you'll never look in a mirror again without seeing what you did to her. Then I carved the final touch. A tiny, perfect heart, right over his cheekbone, like a signature. The door burst open. SWAT. Guns. Hands in the air! I raised them slowly. Behind the mask, I was smiling. They arrested me on the spot, live on camera. The world watched Dr. Emma Valentine, famous surgeon, get led away in cuffs while Julian Wentworth Hale bled on his own table, face ruined forever. Day 7, the reckoning. They charged me with aggravated assault, kidnapping, practicing medicine without consent. The list was long, but the video went viral in ways they couldn't control. Women came forward, dozens. Patients he'd botched and blackmailed, staff he'd threatened. One anesthesiologist who admitted to waking up Chloe mid-procedure on his orders. The insurance videos leaked, the diary, the home OR footage. Julian's father tried to buy silence. No one was selling. My trial became the trial of the decade. I sat in the defendant's chair in orange, hair cut short, no makeup. Reporters asked if I regretted anything. I looked straight into the camera. I regret, I said clearly, that I didn't cut deeper. The jury deliberated for 43 minutes. Not guilty. Insanity was never even argued. Temporary psychosis due to discovering lifelong abuse of my identical twin? The prosecutor didn't even try. The judge banged the gavel. Case dismissed. Outside the courthouse, Chloe waited, face fully healed, scars lasered away by the best surgeon money could buy. Me, pro bono. We hugged in front of the cameras. 2 identical faces. 1 backbone. Julian never practiced again. He lives in a mansion in Switzerland now, behind tinted windows, paying millions for surgeons to try to fix what I broke. They can't. I still fix faces, but now every patient signs a consent form that reads, in bold, I understand perfection is a lie. I understand beauty can be a weapon. I understand Dr. Valentine does not make the same cut twice. And underneath, in my own handwriting, ask me about my sister. They always do. I always tell them the truth. Some monsters wear scrubs. Some angels carry scalpels. And sometimes the only way to heal a face is to destroy another. The end.